Okay, guys, this is Mike McFly. Today I have a serious video, sort of a public service announcement. Can we die aggressive inline skating? Has it ever happened? Recently, I was listening to the Back to Blading podcast, and Lawrence and Ben from that podcast, they were both asking this question, and they couldn't quite recall if anyone had died inline skating, or more specifically, aggressive inline skating. Now, anyone who knows me knows that I have a memory like an elephant. I remember almost everything. The first time I could recall an aggressive inline skater actually died from aggressive inline skating, this was in August 3rd, 2004, and there was a pro skater named Richard Taylor that was from the United Kingdom. He won the UK National Aggressive Tour 2 times. He was sponsored by Rollerblade. He was sponsored by 50/50. He was considered an AM rider by both those companies, but as I think we all know, the hierarchy is kind of stupid. He was totally pro level. Now, on that fateful day in August of 2004, Richard was bombing a hill, and he somehow inadvertently crashed into a concrete lamppost. He had a massive head injury, and he also broke both legs somehow. At the time, in my head, the cognitive dissonance was like, well, that's fine. That won't happen to me. He wasn't actually performing a trick on aggressive skates. He was basically fitness skating from spot to spot. So we still haven't had somebody officially die on aggressive inline skates. That was my dumb thought process at the time. Okay, so do you guys remember when David Sizemore started randomly wearing a helmet for about 5 years? He would wear this helmet under any circumstances, anytime he ever put on inline skates. Well, that wasn't actually a random occurrence. David, along with some of the other Atlanta scene skaters like Richard Williams or Carson Starnes, they began to wear these helmets because they had a close personal friend named Josh Waggoner actually fall inline skating, and this resulted in a severe head trauma and death. So let's take a look at what happened. Okay, so there is a stair rail at the AMC Colonial 18 Theater in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Here's a picture from Google Maps. Doesn't really look that crazy, right? Was Josh trying something crazy? Was he trying to do a negative true spin misfit or something like that? No, Josh was doing a royale. Josh jumped on the rail. He slipped, hit his ribs on the rail, which is typical for any or all of us to have done at some point. But then somehow, I guess he tumbled and hit his head. Okay, so was Josh trying something that was well outside of his skill level? Not at all. Josh had actually done this exact same rail and done this exact same trick on previous occasions. There's actually a clip of him doing a royale on this same handrail from a small video, I'm thinking that's from around the Atlanta area, that was called Through Our Eyes. Here's a quick clip. Now here's a forum post that I found. The poster is actually Erin Heiser. She is the co-owner and co-founder of skatepile.com, which was an aggressive inline e-commerce site that was very popular. Also, her husband Tom Heiser was co-owner and co-founder. He's now product or brand manager at Rollerblade. Anyway, at the time, Erin was actually devastated, as was the entire Atlanta scene. Erin was offering, making lots of posts on social media, Facebook, MySpace, advertising to sell helmets at dead cost just to avoid another tragedy like this from happening. Now, this video isn't clickbait. This is just a public service announcement. I don't want to scare anybody. This is definitely a very sensitive subject. Anybody who was active in the aggressive inline scene back in 2008 when this happened was devastated, especially people who knew Josh. I hadn't actually met him. I skated with him and Richard at Summer Hour a couple times, but sometimes I'm kind of like an introvert and I don't actually just start up random conversations. So unfortunately, I never actually got to talk to Josh. Again, this is just a public service announcement. Anybody out there who is coming back to rollerblading after an extended period, please know your limits. If you feel uncomfortable doing something, put on a helmet. If you are skating a skate park and there are transitions involved, I think you should always wear a helmet. That's what I do, because a lot of unpredictable things can happen while you're skating transitions. You can actually get initiated into like a backflip, by accident and hit the back of your head or whatever. So wear a helmet if you feel uncomfortable. Always wear a helmet at the skate park. And yes, we can die aggressive inline skating. Josh was better than I am now. He's better than I ever was or I ever will be. If it can happen to him, it can happen to you. Anyway, we'll have a more positive video in a couple days. Have a good one, guys.